Hello guys, this is my new map. This is a guide. So press mouse right to change view or change weapon, like this. Just randomly fire. So there are 3 regular weapons of a ship. This is a torpedo. You can guide it with your mouse drag, like this. And this weapon is this surface torpedo. High speed, but very difficult to aim at. The goal is to destroy all the enemy vessels, or if there are just 2 players, 1 versus 1. That guy activated a submarine or a ship, so you just destroy that one, and he will get killed. The left up corner the map, it doesn't work well. It's just stuck at the player model. Well, these ships or submarines are just 1/16 modeled, so it looks like a toy. There are 2 looting bottle. One is there. They are totally full. There are 2 on the water. Yeah, that one is what I'm pointing at. And another one is on the surface, this one. So now the button, the HP 2560 and the energy 2400. So this button, it will give me some HP boost. It's 240 boost. So each time you use the weapon, it will cost some energy. Like I have 400 now. Then I fire. You see? So each weapon will cost a different MP. But now the energy is stopped increase because you see the speed. If it's over 40 km/h, it will stop. But if it's below or it's between 30 to 40, it will refuel 10 point per second. And if the speed between 20 to 30, it will refuel 20 points per second. If below 20, then 3 points. So now I slow down. Refuel. Okay, so and there are actually 2 skills, special skills. One for defensive purpose, one for aggressive. So one button is the space, another is the E. So I press the E first. E usually is aggressive skill. I press E. It's kind of like a rocket, but it will consume a lot of energy. Fight again. So it will consume 640 energy. And another one is defensive. It's actually the acceleration, like the speed boost. I press jump the space, so you see speed. It's very fast, but it also costs like 240 MP. And another thing I want to show is if the speed over 150 km/h, there will be a laser in front of the ship head, and this laser will do huge damage to other ships. But if you use the speed boost now, it's very difficult to accelerate to that speed. So you need to drive fast at the beginning, and then I press again. You can see the laser. You see the laser. So the longer you maintain the speed over 150 km/h, the longer the laser will be on. Okay, so because this map there is no boat, so you can only play with real people, but you can play solo for fun, like destroy this standby ship vessels. So this ship, the damage mechanism. So this is the first weapon. It only does the explosion damage when like this. When it touched, it will just break on touch, and the explosion damage is huge. But it is very difficult to aim. Just slightly inaccurate, then it will. But another thing is this main gun. This will do two types of damage. One type is the kinetic energy. When it shot, if it hit any physical part of the vessels. Okay, so after 8 minutes, if the battle still didn't end, it will trigger a push to push you into the center. Otherwise, if some player just turtle and hide somewhere, you can't find him, then it will be a draw game. Yeah, but anyway, I win because if a vessel he reached the high speed, then just bump on something, it will lose HP. So like this time, this submarine has two views change. This is the main view, so there is a crosshair. So there are two crosshair, one orange, one yellow green colored. So the green colored one, like I'm pointing here, is the direction the torpedo and will fire under the move direction. So I fire now. It's like this. Sometimes if your submarine is also moving or turning and you fire a torpedo, you will have a feeling, illusion that the torpedo seems not very accurate, but actually it's very accurate because your submarine is also moving or turning, and the torpedo actually fired slightly lower from the submarine. You see, it's not from your green crosshair, so actually it's very accurate. So like for example, I want to fire the stone. See, very accurate. No, do another file. No target. Okay. Forget about it. And you can see the bottom. There are dips. That's minus 34 meters. So actually, these dips is based on the size of the vessels. So actually, compared to environmental objects and like fish, duck, and people, it's just maybe 200, 100 inches. But I just multiply it by 16 because this submarine is 1/16 sized model. So to make it everything make it to based on the size of the vessels. And the surface. So if we want to go to the above the water, so when you drive near the water, they will help you push you up and make you slightly fixed above the water, so you cannot easily go underwater. Like this, as slowly, like this, it will not go down. So what you need to do is just slightly up and down, up and yeah, down. Sometimes it will do 2 or 3 times. Very accurate. And so in another view, there is no weapon change for submarines. You can look around, and in this view, your mouse drag will not affect the orientation of your submarine. So it is just like sightseeing and get an overview of environment. But when you want to engage with the enemy, then you certainly will switch to this man view. And this submarine, actually there are 3 different types of submarine. Each team have the same submarines. 3 different submarines for each team, but the submarines of each team actually are the same, just painted in different color. So this terrorist team is painted in like orange and red, and city team certainly will be painted in cyan, blue. So each type of submarine, it will have different properties. Like this one is should be the smallest one, I think. Yeah, HP just below 1000, but the energy, the air is the same, 2400, and the speed almost the same. Some submarine may be a bit easier to accelerate, and there is a geo, it's currently 10. So this is like now the geo is 10, so it will just move itself. You don't need to press W. You just you can release. But if you want to reverse, you just press S, holding it, and the gear will just W S. So you can free your left hand. But for the ship, just now I showed you need to always hold the WSAD. And nothing is, yeah, I show different skills for different. So this submarine is the smallest one, but it is still like 20 meters. So this submarine, the defensive skill will cost a lot of air. Now I use it. So I turn into a shrimp. So I think the enemy, the real people, were very difficult to think this shrimp actually is me. But there is 8 different types. So it can turn into a pike, or a largemouth bass, or a remote trout, or anything else. Just 8 different species. So it's very tricky. And in this mode, the shrimp mode, you can still fly. It will not turn you back. So the cooldown of this skill is 160 seconds. I didn't put this cooldown, these details in the guide or in the discussions. So if you are watching this, then you are lucky. And it will turn you back after 80 seconds. So 80 seconds, it will turn you back to the submarine model, and another 80 seconds, the cooldown is finished, so you can reuse it. But the problem is you need enough air. And the aggressive skill for this submarine, I think, is a net, fishing net like this one. So this fishing net is extremely powerful. The cooldown is 24 seconds, remember it, and it will last 8 seconds. And if it touches any submarine or ships, the ship will be motion disabled suddenly, and after 8 seconds it can be free to move again. So 8 seconds it cannot move, cannot turn, and 24 cooldown, so it's very useful. And the fishing net actually is very big, you can see it. It's very big, so it's easy to, if you have already turned into a fish or a shrimp, then you sneakily find this fishing net. So you can at least give him 2 torpedoes for free. And when he turn around, then you can just find some underwater cover or just flee away, because this submarine has lowest HP. So usually 2 or 3 torpedoes you are finished. So it's all about the timing. And you can hide in this glass. And the problem is there are many other fish. So your opponent really won't so skeptical to think all the fish are you. I missed it. Yeah, the fish is a bit difficult to direct hit, because if you break a fish, there's a chance to spawn a bottle. One bottle, it will give you 300 HP boost. Even your HP is already full, it will still give you the. And you can see there is a strong fog, so there's a weather system. There are 3 kind of weathers. One is storm, cloudy weather. There will be a randomly lightning strike. It will have extremely small chance that it strike onto some submarine and kill it. But the chance is very small, extremely small. And the second weather is this focusing. It will last like 4 minutes, I think, and gradually the fog will be less and less dense. And the third one is like I don't know how to say it. Just sort of dust or ash dust weather, whatever. And so now I try to break a fish. So there are two ways to break. One is just hit it directly, but it's very difficult. Another is hit the ground. Then it will still be pushing, still give some damage. But the fish usually have like 600, 800 HP. And each torpedo will do approximately 300 if direct hit. The mechanism how the fish will spawn looting box, I have explained it in the discussion, so I don't want to go in details. It's very difficult to explain. So because if you break a fish, you will get a 300 HP boost. So it was trying. So for this kind of smaller submarine, if your opponent is like a ship over 2000 HP, then you need to play defensive. Just hit and run and try to farm some HP. Okay, so this is the last war. So now the player area has been restricted in this on the bridge. This is the final fighting area. The game time limit is 15 minutes. So at the beginning, I want this match to be longer, like 30 minutes or 20 minutes, and I didn't intend to set this pushing wave, but I know some players will play just hide and seek and waste time, waste life. I don't like that. So anyway, at certain time there will be this wave push you into this fighting yard. Okay, so that is the last city missile. Wow, all the terrorist missiles are still healthy. Okay, this should be yeah. This is another one. And the music at the very end you just heard is actually I recorded it from another game, not my game certainly. It's a 3DS game back in, I think it's 2014 or 15. It's called Steel Diver. It's really a very cool game. And this game is actually inspired by that game. But I think that game now is dying. After all, the screen size of 3DS and the poor graphic quality, no one will play it for long. But the music is really cool. And this one, the defensive skill is space. It will turn you into 2. But actually, the another one, it will randomly spawn. So there are 4 possibilities. It can spawn at your top, or at your bottom, or at your left, or at your right, like this one. So it will just misleading your opponents. But don't turn too much. If you turn, then it will be very obvious like the right one is fake. And the right one actually is not solid, so if a torpedo hit the right one, it will just pass through. And but the good news is, if you fire a torpedo now, there will be 2 torpedoes, and these 2 torpedoes all have damage. Just the right one could be slightly weaker, but it is still very good. Your main torpedo from your real submarine is like 300, then the right one is, I think I remember, it's like 200 or 240. Yeah, I forgot to mention. So if you bump on something like this one, now speed is 35 kilometers, and I bump on something, my HP is 1300. You can see? So don't bump. The mechanism of this bump is a script function triggered by each 1/10 second. So if the script detected at the 1/10 second before your speed is like 20 kilometers per hour, and then just 0.1 second it becomes 0 or becomes 5. So it will say your submarine must bump on something, so the speed drastically reduced that much. So it will give you a function to reduce certain HP. But certainly, everything is designed by me. And another thing, yes, this submarine's another skill, the E, is this one. So this one you don't use it with the defensive skill, because this one, if you have another like this one, I use a defensive skill, and I use the aggressive skill, the E. So, you see, the bottom one will not fight this one, so your enemy will know the bottom one is fake. So this skill, it will also, it's actually still a torpedo, very the same as the regular torpedo, just a slightly weaker explosion, but it has a trigger. So if the trigger touched the enemy vessel, it will just explode. So it is like if a torpedo just missed you, the torpedo will go in. But this special torpedo, if it missed you but very close to you, it will still explode, give you some damage, but not too much. And another thing is more important, that is, if the trigger touched the vessel like this one, you see, the submarine will just get lit up. So this fire will last 10 seconds. 10 seconds I tested, it will reduce like 197 HP, like 200 HP. But this is not the whole story. Another thing is, it will also burn your magic, burn your air or burn your energy for like 400 points for 10 seconds. So 40 points per second, and lasts for 10 seconds, 400 in total. So it's very useful. When some submarine heavily rely on its skill, and you use it to burn his magic, like the anti-magicist in the Dota. So fight again. Yeah, paint. This is a really nice skill. Missed it. Oh yeah, this ship compared to the city ship, actually this one is slightly smaller, and its bottom is much shallow. So there is chance your missile just passes through it because it's very shallow. But certainly the HP is slightly lower, and the main gun is slightly less powerful than the city's frigate. So try it again. Sometimes just choose a wait for a good angle when it's shaking. Yeah, this time it hits. Okay, so now I kill my own submarine to see what will happen. So the easiest way to kill suicide is just bump on something. And you can see in this underwater there is no the blurry overlay. After this year's update of the CSGO, so I died. Okay, ship again. They added a blurry effect overlay on the water, so if you go into the underwater, everything is blurry. But certainly in this map, everything is underwater, so if the blurry effect still there, it's unplayable. But I finally found a way to remove it. So now it's clear. So if I just recover it, see what it will happen. See, it's totally unplayable. You see what? I can't see anything. It's totally, yeah, it looks cool, but it's just too blurry. So maybe next time I will try some way to make it blurry, but not this blurry. It's just too much. So if I fire a torpedo, I can't even see it. Like now I fire it. See, it's just so I cancel it now. Yeah, this is the real thing. And because I change it, so I have to turn on the cheats on. So this map you cannot play cheats off. It's preset cheats on. Otherwise, the underwater overlay, the blurry effect will not go. So don't take it serious. It's just a fun map. And so I try my gun to kill another frigate. So this glass, it's just good hiding points, hiding spots. And the main gun, so you need to wait it to be static. So if it is like this still moving, then you cannot fire. You need to wait. So usually these submarines, I shot them with this gun. It's usually one hit kill. I try it, 1 or 2 hit. Yeah, 1 hit. So submarine versus ship should never easily surface. Yeah, 1 hit kill. And try the torpedo. So if the submarine is on the surface, you cannot shoot them. Because if you shoot like this, you will shoot your own ship. So it's very difficult. Oh, okay. And the main gun damage mechanism, I just leave it behind. So this gun, when you shoot, the bullet is very fast. I just do a demo shot. I can shoot on my name. There's a bullet drop. So see. So the far it travel, it will lose drastically its kinetic energy. So if the ship is very far, another side, then I fight. Even if I can really land my hit, it's very rare. But the energy there will do very small damage, maybe 50 damage. But there's also explosion damage. The explosion damage is like maybe 200 HP. So in total like 250. But if you fight like this close range, it's different story. The kinetic energy of the bullet will do like sometimes will do even 800, even 1000 damage. Even the ship is shaking now. See. So at not very far range, if you fire this main gun 3 or 4 rounds, 2 or 3 rounds, then another ship would GG. But typically it will do like 500, 600. So that ship there's like 3000 HP. So still not still there. Yeah, finally black. So every vessel, if the HP is below 300, it will become like this shit. And so now its HP I think maybe 100, 200, just now I change team, try to the CT team. So if you just accidentally jump into the water to have a good view on the water, then there is actually a barrier. You cannot jump out, but actually the barrier has a height. So if you jump higher, you can still jump out. Like here, just yeah, you can still jump out. Because it's an invisible wall. You jump higher. And another thing is, yeah, I tried the last submarine. Should be this one. Oh, not this one. So, okay. which one should be this one? Yeah, this one. So this one is should be the longest submarine. So when I press the WOS, the gear is just shifting from 10 to -8. There is a speed actually. So the smaller the submarine, the faster it will shift its gear. So this one is comparatively largest submarine, so it will become a bit slower. This one is just classical attack submarine. There is nothing to say too much. Just fire torpedo and but this submarine, the skills, the aggressive skill is you can see there is actually a turret on its top. There are two, but so if you press E, it's like this. And this gun, it will do damage. The bullets fired is AK-47, and it will fire like in total 4 seconds for maybe 45. The fire rates I don't know. So 45 bullets fired, AK is 47. So each bullet will do like 25 damage. So it's totally like over 1000 damage. But the problem is you certainly will miss a lot of them because the submarine is just swing around, swing up down. So I find it in this view to see what it look like. I find on the stop. And the cooldown is very low, and the defensive skill is actually fade away. So I press space, it totally disappear. So not just turn into a fish, just totally disappear. But actually you can still see there is a crosshair, but it is just too small, so it's too difficult to notice it. And this green crosshair is one-sided, so you can only see through this direction. You cannot see it from back. So if there is a submarine in front of you and you just become like this, then he will not detect you at all. But he will maybe hear the sound, the engine sound approaching. And this it will last 16 seconds and the cooldown is 32. So 16 seconds plus 16 seconds waiting time is totally 32 seconds cooldown. And there is a drawback of this skill, that is, if you turn into this and you want to fire, then you will just come back. But the cooldown will also be lowered. So if you disappeared for 16 seconds and reappear, you will still wait for 16 seconds to use it. But if you disappeared just like for 3 seconds and you can't wait to fire your torpedo to hit your enemy, then you just reappeared, and after actually maybe 8 seconds or 3 seconds, I forgot, the cooldown will just be cleared, so you can reuse it. So you can just disappear for 2 seconds and swing to the back of your enemy, fire a torpedo, and after several seconds use it and do it again and then again. So, but the problem is you need to have enough MP. This skill costs 540 MP, so it's totally just 2400. So you can only do it 3 or 4 times. Otherwise, you even have no air to fire your regular torpedo. So everything is about the MP control. And the submarine refuel mechanism is different. It's nothing to do with your speed, just the surface, and it will add you 2 points, 20 points per second. So, when you use your mouse drag to orient your submarine's head, there are 2 forces. So, go up. One force will apply a torque, so it will just pitch up your head. Another force will just directly make your submarine floatant, so it will just make you surface. But if you want to like this for higher angle, so sometimes you just need to up down for several times to make it like what? Sorry, I don't know how to see it. And there is so if you just slightly up, make your red crosshair slightly above the red one, it will do slowly. But if you do it like this drastically, it will do drastically. So I use my skill on that red one. See how many I can get. Hear the sound? Oh damn it. War begins again. Oh no air. Okay, so there is a unsolvable issue, that is, if it's just too close, the torpedo will not break, even touch the physical object. This is unsolvable. and you can also use your A or D to rotate your submarine. So I just try to destroy another ship with a main gun to see how many hits. So this city ship frigate is actually slightly bigger than that one. It is like 90 meters, or if I'm wrong, it's 100 meters long, and it's much beefy, with nearly 3000 HP. But the hitbox is certainly larger, so it's easier to get hit. But its main gun is more powerful. It can travel actually farther. So I just test to shoot. Yeah, I shoot the turret. Yeah. At this distance, I just try to destroy it. Missed. Too high. Still too high. Yeah, I think I landed this hit. Won't waste time. Just try to cross it with the speed boost. So this first weapon, surface torpedo, is like playing snook. So you need to aim at it. If you fail, you just oh, it turned black. So I think the man can still do the decent damage to it. Otherwise, it won't turn black this fast. So I'm going to crush it. Go! Yeah. And another thing is explosion calculation. I explained it in the discussion. So, like this ship is very long, not very wide. So if explode happened on its head, then the radius, the distance, is based on the center of its mass, center of its volume to the explosion point. So certainly the center of this model ship should be at its center. So if an explosion happened at the head, then it's like 50 meters, at least 40 meters away. So the explosion damage will do very little. But if its side get a hit, have an explosion, then it's very decent. It can do, if the damage is 300 maximum, then it at least can get 280. So never expose your side to your opponent enemy. Always try to do like this. Another thing is, there are two things remaining. One is I should break a fish and get a looting bottle. Another thing is I need to use a fishing net to stop a moving vessel. Just break this one first. So I will use the smallest the fishing submarine to show something very cool. Should be here. Oh, wrong one. Should be first one, maybe. This is a no, it's wrong one. So it should be the second one. Yeah, this. Yeah, right. So I just said that the fishing net can stop a moving vessel, but because of the bumping mechanism in the script, so if a ship is running very fast, like no need to very fast, just he's moving like 50 kilometers per hour, and you stop it with a fishing net, it becomes static. So the script will judge it to bump something. So it will do extra damage. So in another word, if let's say a ship running like just now 170 kilometers per hour with his speed boost and with like 200 health points remaining, but unfortunately he just run into your fishing net, then he will just be executed instantly. Maybe it will just equal to he with his full speed 170 kilometers per hour bumping into a wall. So it will just GG instantly. So I'll try this. MS force skill. Okay, this ship is moving. I'm going to see you hear the sound. It's like a metal cracking sound because he's moving fast, but he gets stopped. So it's like bumping on something. So I'm trying it again. Okay, it just died. Okay, so the last thing is the fish here. So the duck just pushed me, I think. There are totally 64 fish and 3 duck, and there are 3 trash like a pizza box or the shoe. Yeah, turtle is also considered as a fish. It's also included in the fish list. Need to die. So the only thing I still need to improve is the model. Axis submarine. The propeller actually is not rotating at all. But with some Blender tool, I'm trying to add some animation of the model. But this time I just make it simple. Fish actually is very difficult to directly hit them. So the bigger the fish, the hitbox is bigger. But usually the big fish will sometimes sprint like this. It's extremely difficult to aim. Smaller fish swim slowly. But with still paused. I think the fish just too slippery. Well, every time I turn into a shrimp, there should be a random case, different cases. But because the source engine, the random cases are bugged, so sometimes it is very possible that it will happen successfully 5 or 6 times with the same case. So it will all happen. But sometimes it will maybe pick another case for 4 or 5 times. The only way to fix it is purely use the script to use the random function. But I just don't want to make it too complicated. Because I still have belief in source engine. Yeah, I finally got a looting bottle with a poor fish. Okay, so I think that's for. Okay, so just look around of this map. So this map, this park has already been used for many times. The pond fishing is used this park. The kart racing also in this park, but with the extended playing area. Because this park just very classical. It can have many potential to be made in other mode, even hide and seek. And because it always costs a lot of time to make new things. So why not just put the submarine in this beautiful pond, well, other than making another totally new map with different environment from the scratch, maybe 1 month. But So if this submarine idea is very good and popular, I can actually make more maps with more types of submarine, different modes. Like I can make a swimming pool and put this submarine in it. And this map is totally at maximum 4 versus 4, so 8 players. But there are totally 10 spawn points, so there can be 5 player versus 5 player. So there will be 2 players just hanging around, like spectators. And it is possible that in future update I put some other things, other toys, so they can just use. Like I can put in the racing cart, so they can just drive, and even a fishing rod, or some tank airplane. But it all depends on the map goes well. And some people with poor graphic could be experience very low FPS, like 20 FPS, 15 FPS. So just trying to lower the the graphic setting. So this map, if the FPS over 25 FPS, it's very playable, because the submarine is very slow paced. It's not like actual gunfighting. It's very slow paced. And if you have some thoughts on this map, some suggestion and advice, or some problem report, you can just leave your comments in the discussion. Okay, that's all.